Hi, readers. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Katie.
And welcome to Not Another Heroine, the podcast where we break down the best and worst fictional heroines, those swashbuckling ladies who have to work a little harder than expected for their happy ending.
Want to see what's next on our TBR list? Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Instagram for a sneak peek at upcoming content or to help us pick our next book. It is the pick of the week time. Pick of the week. Pick of the week.
Who needs a soundboard when you have a Katie?
Quality, professionalism, actual, musical value. The list goes on.
By the time we have like 20 of these pick of the week episodes, I'm going to do a compilation of your intros.
Oh my God, no.
Yes, it's happening.
I think that would make me cry. So
it's so delightful. It makes me smile every time I hear it.
Oh, well, I'm glad it's not like making people's eardrums bleed or anything.
It did make your nose bleed, though.
That is true.
We had to stop.
Yeah, if you heard.
Yeah, in the middle of last week's pick of the week, we had to stop the middle because out of nowhere.
Yep. Random bloody nose. And I was like, no, I can handle it. And I'm just like wiping the blood on all of my hands. And then I ran out of space on my hand. And I'm like, Jordan.
Okay, so it was legit.
Help.
It looked like a horror movie because I'm sitting here chit-chatting about this book. And then you are perfectly still, like just staring at the screen. And then this little trickle of blood just goes down like a fucking scary movie. And I'm like, is it really that bad? The book can't be that bad, can
it? I was like, keep it together. Like, if you don't move, it won't come out of your nose. And then it just waterfalled. It's fine.
It's fine. No bloody noses allowed this time. So.
Nope. Yeah. Well, it is my week for pick of the week. And actually, so in a weird turn of events, Jordan recommended this book, and then I read it for my pick of the week.
I have recommended.
Is it really Jordan's pick of the week?
I have recommended so many books to you, and I know your TBR list is like here now.
Mm-hmm. This
what about
is true.
Blade Dancer?
It has like quadrupled. I know. That's on my next. I was just in like a fantasy romance, like give me some like trashy, cute romance. And I feel like Blade Dancer is like, yeah, I want to fuck these bros up. Like, I'm not in that vibe yet, I'm like, I got to sync it to my cycle. I'm in the like, oh, I'm a flowery, feminine woman. But give it like a week and a half and I'll be like, yeah, cut his head off or whatever men say.
I'm just telling you, you're going to kick yourself when you finish this book. And
probably.
I can't wait for that.
It has happened before.
Moment. But anyway,
yeah, because it happened with this one. So
tell about Entreat Me.
Yep. Yeah. So I read Entreat Me by Grace Draven. And if you listen to our pod episodes for The Undying King, it's the same author. Also the same author of Jordan and I's almost favorite romance book.
Master of Crows.
Master of Crows. I wanted to say a flock of crows, and I'm like, that is not right.
It would be a murder of crows. But
see, I was double wrong. Yeah. Master of Crows. Excellent book. High quality. Lots of smut.
Let's put our 20th plug in for Master of Crows here.
Yeah, that's true. But Entreat Me is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And what I thought was fun, like most fun about this book, was that the main love, very traditional romance, love storyline is not between the main character. It's the main character's sister. I loved that. But let me caveat it. The main heroine also has her own love story, so don't think that this is romance by proxy or something. It's not. So we have an older sister and her half sister, younger sister, who's beautiful, amazing. All of the men in their little town want to marry her. And along with several other books that we know, the father lost the wife, actually both of his wives, and not super competent with money, runs into some financial troubles, really along the lines of A Court of Thorns and Roses, kind of identical, leading up plot lines. But there is this evil Gaston character who's I will forgive all of these debts if, the beautiful younger sister marries me. And what I love about the main heroine, what is her name?
You can't remember her name.
It's kind of Leuven. I can't pronounce it. Loveen? Loveen? We're going to go with Loveen. she's like, over my dead fucking body, and like pulls out a gun, and she's like, if you don't get out of my motherfucking house, I'm gonna shoot you. Love it. So he kind of like runs away a little bit, scared of this woman, which God bless, do we love tall, scary women. Um Speaking is one.
I was gonna say, I wonder why.
It's more just like me hoping that people love tall, scary women, but and so, the older sister and the younger sister, Levine, and then the younger sister is like Cinia or something. Again, cannot pronounce it. They're kind of at a loss. They're like, what the fuck are we supposed to do to get our dad out of like, all these debts that he's gone in? And what's also fun is, I'm all over the place here, but the older sister, Levine or whatever, she's a widow, which I also loved. She talks about, so she lost her husband to like the plague, like 3 years before the story starts. And she's still kind of like grieving his, loss. And like, it's a really touching, like if you've lost like a family member or a dear friend, you kind of like understand her grief. So I feel like Grace really put like some of herself in this story. Because she's like, it'll be fine. And then she'll like remember the way he laughed or like the way he did something. And then she has like this, melancholy moment again. And it's like, oh, like I can understand that. But Cinia has been like low key on the down low. Like, what is the old timey word for dating?
Courting?
Courting? Yeah. Has been courting with this like rando dude who showed up. He's allegedly, some type of like landed lord of some sort, but like Levine is like, I don't know, it's kind of like sus. Like he just came up here in his like nice clothes. Like I asked around, nobody knows his family's name. Like who the fuck is this guy? So she's kind of a little bit, sus of him. Except, dun dun dun, she finds a letter written by her sister that says that she's run off with this guy because, he's going to give her a lot of money so that they can pay their father's debts. And I love this like follow-on scene. So she basically fucking hops on her horse and she's like, I am going to like drag back this brat that like ran off. She, like she's going to potentially, put her virginity or her chastity, into question. She just ran off. Like, I can fix these problems for us. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So she like goes up to the castle, like a week away from their little town or whatever. And it's the middle of a snowstorm. No one can hear her as she's like, hey, mofos, like drop down the drawbridge so I can come across. So she just like shoots a gun at the castle to get their attention. She's like, let me in or else. And so in the castle, we meet the main cast of characters. Again, the guy's name is Gavin, the one that Cinia is courting and falling in love with. But we love a daddy moment. His dad is hot and, well, actually, maybe not hot, but like hot in his heart. You know what I mean?
Hot like
because he's the cursed
hot.
one. Oh, Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah,
Who
but
needs
exactly
Edward
like
when you have
that.
Charlie?
Preach. That's how you know we've gotten like a little bit older. Yeah, so hot dad vibes. He and his son have been cursed by ex-wife and mom, so that same person, because she's like, you killed my lover and I'm going to basically curse you that you're going to turn into a beast and you're going to kill your son eventually, or he's going to kill you. And anyway, fuck you. And then she dies. And so the story is just them trying to break the curse. And Levine is like originally like, oh my God, like this guy's like kind of hot, but like, I don't know if I want to love again. But then she's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm a hot woman. I still have, the best years of my life ahead of me. Like, I'm going to go for it. And like, this guy is like, wow, I'm all cursed and kind of like, don't look my greatest and you're still into it. Nice. And so they kind of, have their romance and then maybe the curse breaks and maybe it doesn't. Not like a regular Beauty and the Beast curse though. I will say that. But yeah, there's smut in it too. It's spicy.
I don't remember when I read this. It was a long time ago. And now I want to reread it. So
it was so cute. It's one of those, this is another one where they have really good like snapbacks. Like Levine is like the funnest, that funnest is not a word, but she is like the funnest character. She's like, does not take shit from anyone. She's like constantly described as like a harpy, but I feel like it's like endearing harpy, I love it.
I do remember like Tammy of the Shrew vibes on this one.
Yes. Yeah, she's also called a shrew a bunch of
Yeah,
times.
that fits.
Yeah.
So
But I just love it because she's like a strong character without it being like an overpowered character. You know what I mean? She's just like a strong personality. And I feel like that word gets thrown around a lot, like a strong female heroine, but she's legit. She's like Katso, where she's like, does not take shit from anyone. She is just existing. And she's like, hey, no, you're not going to fucking bully me. And everybody's like, oh, fuck. She didn't just like roll over and take it. Like, I don't know what to do.
okay, so that's the thing though. There's tons of strong heroines, right? But like a lot of the heroines have like insecurities or confidence issues, and like they doubt
Yeah.
how strong they are. And like
Mhm.
Katsa and this chick are both like, nah,
Yeah.
man, don't fuck with me.
Nope. Yeah, literally. She's like, I've been married before. I don't give a fuck. I am a woman on my own. I own my own house. Like, come fight me, bro. But then she's like, yeah. And obviously, you know, this is set in kind of like a medieval times,
you're
maybe.
not
kind of like a
quoting-
Wales.
quoting the character. there.
Yeah. And like, obviously, she kind of gets like beat up and stuff, but she still has that like big dick energy, you know?
Oh my god.
She does, for sure. Yeah. But it was so cute. It was like a fun, easy read. It's kind of long-ish, I think, but I smashed through it. I'm like, this is adorable. I love these characters. The male love interest is like not traditionally attractive. Like obviously he's been cursed too. And he's older. So it's like a nice, I feel like it'd be a good story for like a little bit older romance audience who, you know, don't want that like first love virgin shit again and again and again. We have like two more mature characters who it's like a second chance at love kind of thing.
Oh, I love that.
With still respecting, you know, her ex-husband or late husband. There we go.
Late husband.
Yeah.
So like you and I talked before we started this about like similar books, and we kind of struggled to find similar books because this one is
Yeah.
so unique, even though it's a Beauty and the Beast story. So I forget now which ones we were focusing on.
Yeah. So I would say for the kind of like Beauty and the Beast retelling, but like a good Beauty and the Beast retelling, because I know there's a lot of like janky ones out there. Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. Same kind of, you know, fairy tale-y thing. And then the other two are also in that same kind of like fairy tale, not like new age fairy tale, because that's not right, but like retelling of an old trope, you know, fairy tale, but in like a way new way that you're like, oh, this is like fun. I can almost barely recognize, you know, the undertones there, but it's there. So the other ones are Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which
Golden.
I need to inhale here. That is probably one of my like top 3 favorite books in existence ever. We're just going to, you know, move past that so I don't derail this episode. And I will also say Thorn by Intisar Kahani. That's like a retelling of the Goose Girl, I think. Yeah, but it has that same kind of like, you know, magic-y retelling, but in a new way. And you're like, this is fun. Like this could be a unique story, even though it pulls from, you know, the same. And I will say, there was a book I just read recently, A River Enchanted. So not at all a similar book, except maybe like kind of similar, like strong female characters, but it's set in the same kind of world. So it's like medieval Wales, castles, you know, Scotland. There's probably a bunch of people triggered because like Wales and Scotland are not the same thing. But you know what I mean? From the American perspective, you know, kilts and accents and foggy days on the Highlands.
Keep digging that hole, Katie.
Yep, I am so far in this hole. But yeah, same vibe. It's set in, you know, the medieval era, I think. But that doesn't even feel right. Is it medieval times?
No, so I think Grace Draven kind of sets a lot of her stuff in the same in between, like medieval, I don't know, not medieval, but like 1700s similar-ish.
Yeah. Like one up from medieval. So like Plague kind of, but like Plague in the recent past.
Yeah.
But also it's still like drafty castles where they have to, you know, snuggle to stay warm. I will also say this has one of those tropes of like have to cuddle to stay warm after, you know, a death-defying instance with like cold water, which It's a good trope. It's a trope for a reason.
Oh, man. I can't remember. I don't remember the scene, so now I'm gonna have to really reread it.
Yeah, fair. You should. It's cute.
Okay. As if I don't have a big enough stack as it is. I mean,
I know. I feel like this is just us, like, adding to each other's TBRs in real time.
I saw
Like,
a picture a couple days ago where it was like TBR list, books I bought like in real form and haven't touched yet, and then the actual what I'm reading right now, and it doesn't cross those two lines.
yeah. She's drawing a Venn diagram, but the circles are not touching.
I forgot. There's no imagery attached to this audio. Yep. There's
Nope.
my I give up.
It's just two circles.
Just two circles. Ugh,
But it's true.
it is. This is this is a good book, but most of this author's books are excellent. So
Ugh, yes.
thank you, Grace Draven.
honestly.
We love you.
And read A Master of Crows.
Please.
We'll just add that to every episode somehow.
Master of Crows needs to be on your list. Anyway, from Katie's
Yes.
shelf to yours.
We'll see you on the next page. Hi, readers. If you'd like to help us pick our next book, send us a message on Instagram.
Or if you'd like to just listen, we post new episodes every Monday on Spotify, Amazon, or Apple Music. Thanks for listening.